All right, let's talk about Kidnapper. I enjoyed this one okay. I thought that the twist at the end was really good, and I thought that the lead guy was just the right amount of a weirdo for the role to work. So he is like taking this girl's kid and he's looking at it, and then we get a story of what he was doing before this. And he works at like a pawn shop, and this girl comes in who's pregnant and she needs money, so he offers her to stay at his house. And he is just a lonely, desperate kind of guy, so he takes her in because he wants her as his girlfriend, but he tries to play it like he's being this this guy who's giving her charity and being sweet, and she's very iffy about it, but she has no choice really. I mean, she doesn't have many choices, should I say. So she takes him up on it, and at first he's all about it, and she's just happy to be there and not on the streets or wherever the hell she was. I know that she says that her ex, the you know baby daddy, I'm guessing, was super abusive to her, so this is probably better than that for her. But yeah, so he gets super jealous because the baby's taking up all the time. Hey man, I can relate, but I love my kid, so this is a little bit different of a scenario. He only wants her. He doesn't want the kid there. So one day they're at the park and some mimes distract her and get into this big fight, and she goes over to like break it up, and while she does, her kid gets kidnapped, which as a parent, I mean, your kid getting taken is the worst fear you could ever have in your whole life. And he goes and he tries to chase the guy down, and he falls, and you're thinking like, dude, you gave up so easily. And he gave up so easily because he hired them to kidnap the kid so he didn't have to deal with the kid anymore, and he could console her and get her how he wanted her, not only without the kid, but be there for her and become her boyfriend, which is like the most fucked up plan of all time. And when he realizes that she's lost her damn mind from this, like anybody would, and she's playing with dolls and thinking that they're her baby, he's like, oh shit, the only way to make this girl happy and make myself look good is to get the kid back, which I feel like should have been his plan all along. It shouldn't have been his plan at all. I'm just saying that I think in order for this to work successfully, if you're going to be a fucking nutcase like that and a creep, you should have had people kidnap the kid, keep it for a day or two, and then be the hero who recovered it. Then you'd get your chick, and she'd have her kid, and she'd be right in the head again. Um, so the fact that it wasn't his plan all along, that he came up with it later, but he goes to try to get the kid back, and there's this, the guy's like, oh hell no, and he has this strong arm dude that comes in and is like, no, we sell babies, like that's what we do here. You gave the kid to us, which is, I mean, the most horrendous organization to ever exist ever. Like this little side freaking, oh my god, to think that there's people, and this actually happens. It's just crazy to me. People will steal people's kids and put them on the market. Like, oh, ugh, so gross. But then he decides, like, in a moment of desperation, that all babies look the same, which is just not true. I know that people think that up until you have a kid, and then you have a kid, and you're like, my kid doesn't look like any other kid. And that's just true. I know my kids from any other kids, for sure. But he thinks they look all the same, and he's just going to swipe someone else's baby and give it to her and pretend that it's hers. So he grabs the kid, runs off with him. A whole mob chases him down, along with that strong arm guy that works for the baby dealer. And in a fit, because the kid has a huge birthmark on his back, in a last-ditch effort to get the kid back, he makes a lunge for the kid and pulls down his pants and up his shirt or whatever, and it reveals that the kid that he was trying to steal was actually the kid. Which seems so dumb to me when a kid has such an obvious mark like that, and the authorities are out there looking for that kid. You're gonna sell the kid to a mom in that town, like right there in that small little town, like What is she going to do? Raise that kid there? They're going to go to the pool. The kid's going to run outside like that big obvious birthmark on his back. So that part of the logic is insane. Like they would not sell that kid. They wouldn't sell that kid there regardless of the birthmark. Like they would sell that kid in a different country, somewhere way far away. So the authorities aren't like right there in the same exact town. And he finds her in this, the kid in the same park that I think they got nabbed from probably, or at least a very close proximity. Come on now. But I did, as I said, I did really like the twist that the kid he was trying to steal ended up actually being the kid. I thought that was fucking great. I was like, oh, wow, that's messed up. Because that girl's like, give me my kid back. And you're like, bitch, you stole that kid. Maybe she didn't think she did. Maybe she bought it and she thought it was a legit organization. But I can't imagine that to be true. Because the only way that you would be able to do something like that if it was some backdoor shady shit. So she knows she stole that kid, let's be honest here. And then she's all freaking out, give me my kid back. And she couldn't have had that kid very long. So, I mean, talk about, the kettle black thing, man. Holy shit. But so I like the performance from that guy, and I really like the twist at the end. So overall, I'll say it was pretty good. But you can see the drastic decline in budget and just quality of the how it's being shot, the everything. It's just downgraded. You can just tell there's not anywhere near as much money being put into this show. But anyways, let's move on.